So guys, this video is about the last two impact factors, which are club path and club face, and how the two relate to one another. So guys, now we're going to look at the final two parts of the impact, which are club path and face angle, okay? So they're the two remaining impact factors which determine what happens to the ball flight, okay? Now, if we're looking at club path, what we're looking at is that's going to be the direction that the club travels into the ball at the bottom of the arc, whether it's going to be an in to out or whether it's going to be out to in, okay? So, red stick on the floor here, orange stick is just square to ball to target line in line with this stick. So the first one we're looking at is this stick here is representing the club path. So it's coming in from the in to out, okay? So obviously that's crossing across that line. So if I was to hit this ball with a square club face, so in other words, it's pointing down that ball to target line. So I'm going to have the club traveling from the inside, which the path of the club controls the curvature. So that will allow us to get a ball that starts to the right of the target and curve if the club face is aligned to it. So if I've got a club face that's square to this orange stick, what will happen is the ball will start on this, okay? And then the path obviously aimed to the right, so the ball is therefore going to curve off and go to the left of the target. So the curvature on there would be the right one if you wanted to hit a draw, but what it means is that the club face has either been too square or closed, okay? So in terms of being able to practice this, being able to have a stick out there so you can start to judge what element of that is letting you down, you don't need a TrackMan for this. You can work this out outside by looking at the ball flight and start to be able to judge off the starting line if you know what your club path is. So if then I then say, right, okay, I hit a really good swing there, but the ball started to the left, okay? What I then do is try and make sure, come through with the club face pointing a little bit more to the right. So you see there that that stick is pointing in between the two sticks on the ground. So that means that the club face is going to be pointing down in this direction. Which means the ball's going to start over here. So it's going to start to the right of the stick. So if the ball starts on me, but the path is to this side of me, the ball is going to curve back to the target, hitting a draw, okay? A massive draw will be a path that's got too big a number. We don't want to see that because that's when you start to have real difficulty in controlling that ball flight. So numbers only want to be small because we don't want to play with big raking shape, as they're really, really tough to judge. So what we then look at is, conversely, the opposite on out to in. So we can now see that this stick is pointing across the ball for your slice out to in swing. Now, the opposite. So if I start with the club face square there, so it's going over the orange stick on the floor, but my path is coming out to in. So I'm coming out to in this way. That club face is open relative to that path, but square to that target line. The ball is going to start at the target, but the path's aligned this side of it. So the ball is going to curve off. The number one problem I see with guys, okay, on this side of it is not understanding that it's not always your path that's the problem, it can be your face angle, okay? Obviously, if you're about 8, 10, 12 degrees, huge number out to in, that's got to be the number one thing to cure, because no matter what you do, you're still going to have a huge shape on it. If you're 2, 3, 4 degrees, that's not a big number, guys. But if that ball starts to the right, i.e., we can now see that white stick on the ground is now to the right of the orange. Okay, so the difference between the two white sticks is now massive. That means that ball is going to start over here. And the path is over this way. So the difference between the two, as you can see, I'm only a few yards away, is massive. So this is going to get that ball. There is a huge slice to the right. But your path might not be that big. Okay, it will probably be that the face angle is miles open. So what you'll then need to do is to learn that to hit that fade, you need to be coming through with a face angle that's a little bit more closed. So that's angled in between these two sticks. So you can see that's now in between the two. So that will mean that's going to get a ball that starts over here and moves gently with a little fade back to the target. So the shape is understanding the path that creates the curvature. So the curve you tend to see in the air will be the path relative to that club face, and the starting line, particularly on an iron, is 90% on where that club face is pointing at impact, and you can judge this off the starting line. So guys, those 2 impact factors I've talked about a lot in golf, so hopefully you can now understand how the 5 impact factors come into influence what happens to your ball flight, and you can start to see how you can find out which one it is that lets your game down the most, and you can hopefully start to analyse your ball flight a little bit and make some changes. I hope this has all been really useful. If you'd like to see some more videos, please comment below. Let us know what you'd like to see. Obviously, we make the videos for you guys. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and talk with you again very soon.